A new cheaper version of the Tesla Model Y has arrived in the United States, and it is unbelievably good value. Range is up by 30 miles to 357 miles. Tesla have just revealed the most affordable version of the new Model Y Juniper. The Model Y Juniper is now available, the new version of the Model Y is now available in the US for $4,000 less than the existing, well, the current cheapest model, which is the long-range all-wheel drive. I actually think this is the best version of the Model Y to get if you're in the market. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. It's great to have you with us. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. This new Model Y has more range. It's rear-wheel drive. In fact, it's got 30 miles of range more for $4,000 less money. Really, unless you need all-wheel drive, most people don't. But obviously, if you live in a lot of icy, snowy parts of America, it could be logical. But most people don't need that. I think this is the best version for that reason. Days after Tesla rolled out its new acceleration boost for the Model Y Juniper, it now has a long-range rear-wheel drive. And as I said before, it's $4,000 cheaper. If you're in the market for a new EV in the United States, I think this is probably the best choice at this point in time. In terms of value for money, it's $45,000 US. It qualifies for EV incentives in the US, which could end soon. So if you're going to buy, probably now is the time to buy. But yeah, like I said, $45,000 US. So if, assuming most people in the US can qualify for the tax incentive of $7,500, meaning $37,500 for the new Model Y with 357 miles of range, which you're going to get in the real world. We've seen tests. You're likely to get very close to that, if not more, in the real world. I think this is the best value car, the best value car Tesla has ever sold, period. We know it's had massive improvements in comparison to the superseded Model Y. And I think this is just a no-brainer if you're in the market right now for a mid-sized SUV. Base price, if you qualify, is, like I said, $37,500 after the incentive. But there is a delivery and order fee, which is $1,600. So really you're going to come away paying around about $39,000 US. That's a little bit more expensive than the base Ford Mustang Mach-E. And it's slightly cheaper than the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and the Kia EV6. You do get those 30 miles of more range. So the Hyundai Ioniq 5 has 327 miles of range, and the EV6 has claimed 357. But guys, the EV6 is definitely a smaller car than a Model Y. People always compare the two, and I think, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure they're comparable. If you've got a family and you've got, you want to carry stuff in the boot, I don't think the EV6 is the right choice for you. Most of the people that I see driving EV6s are actually older people, and they're usually retirees. That's the most common people I've seen driving one of them. And they're really nice cars, but it doesn't have the same practicality. It's definitely a significantly smaller car than a Model Y. Anyhow, performance. It's, like I said, rear-wheel drive, a bit slower, but it's still very fast. 0 to 60 miles an hour is 5.4 seconds. So 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, around 5.6 seconds. It's pretty fast. And it means it's a bit slower than the all-wheel drive version, but not a whole lot. The all-wheel drive version does it in 4.6 seconds. The base Model Y comes with the same exact features as the all-wheel drive version. So you get 19-inch cross-flow wheels, stealth gray paint as standard, black interior. You can, of course, add a white interior, but that's going to cost you, I believe, $1,500. You can add bigger wheels, but if you put bigger wheels on, you are going to reduce your range, and your tires are going to be more expensive, and your ride is not going to be as comfortable. I don't recommend getting bigger wheels. It's just dumb. So what about full self-driving? Well, full self-driving costs $8,000 US. Considering how good it is, guys, I used full self-driving on a Cybertruck and a Model 3 when I was in the US. I believe it was October last year. It was unbelievable. I mean, it was so incredibly good. I think it's worth paying the money for it. Not if you're driving only small distances, but I think if you're driving, decent distances, I absolutely think it's worth it. So deliveries, apparently 3 to 5 weeks. 3 to 5 weeks to get this delivery of this new Model Y. So the price difference, $4,000, meaning the long-range all-wheel drive is $49,000 US. Is it worth paying an extra $4,000 just to get one additional motor at the front of the car? I mean, I think for most people, probably not. What else is coming though? Well, there's meant to be a cheaper version of the Model Y, even cheaper than this. It'll have a smaller battery, and even more range. They're going to remove some features. They're going to remove the rear screen from the back. The ventilated seats, I believe, will be removed from the back as well. Heating and ventilated seats removed from the back. It's going to come with, less range, probably a bit less power, detuned, probably smaller wheels, 18-inch wheels. So it's going to have some changes, but it will be cheaper, a couple of $1,000s cheaper. And that will mean that, more people would have access to what I think is a really good car. What about the Model Y performance? Well, apparently that's coming towards the end of this year. I'm not exactly sure, but that's what it sounds like. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? Is it good value? Do you agree with me? I've got to point out, I've never had any contact from Tesla. They've never given me opportunity to test drive or anything like that. I did actually pre-order one of these cars here in Australia. I ended up canceling my order for reasons I explained in my video. A couple of reasons that just made it a bit of a challenge to get the car. But that doesn't mean I don't think it's really good. I think it's especially in the US, you guys in the US, you're getting a different car to what we get in Australia. If they had this car here in the rear-wheel drive version in other markets, like I said, like in Australia, China, but many markets that only get the all-wheel drive, we only get all-wheel drive. We don't get the rear-wheel drive long range. We only get the rear-wheel drive standard range, which has a lot less range than this. The amount of range in this car is spectacular for the price. And the fact that the range has gone up by 30 miles, that's a pretty big difference. The previous version had 327 miles of range. This has 357 miles of range, and it's the same price. It just seems like an incredibly good deal. Even if you politically don't like Tesla right now, you've got your issues. You've got your concerns. I understand that. I still think this is a really, really good car for the money. Tesla's biggest rival, without doubt. Whenever we think of Tesla, we think of BYD. When we think of BYD, we think of Tesla, or at least I do anyway. Well, Tesla's biggest rival, BYD, they've just made a ton of profit. And it wasn't long ago that we were saying, especially Tesla YouTube channels were saying, Tesla is making so much more money than BYD on every car they sell. They're so much more profitable. BYD doesn't make a big profit, makes a minuscule profit. Boy, oh boy, how the tables have turned. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Great to have you with us. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. BYD just posted profits 3 times larger than Tesla's last quarter. And keep in mind, Tesla's profit pretty much, entirely only came from the sales of carbon credits. BYD also rolled out 1,000 kilowatt car EV architectures, which are the fastest charging platform, the fastest charging batteries in the world, and they boosted sales by 60%. Are we watching the moment the world's biggest EV disruptor leaves Tesla in the dust? Well, let's break it down.